I wanted to become the city manager of Edina because Edina represents a pinnacle in my profession. It's the top, it's the best. It's where any city manager in the Twin Cities would like to work if he or she had the opportunity. But while I believe it's the best, it doesn't mean that we can't do even better. We must, in fact, do better, because other cities in the metro area measure themselves by our quality. They want to achieve what we have achieved. They want to surpass what Edina has created. In order to keep our position at the top of the heap, we must do better. To figure out what we can do better, I decided to ask the people who ought to know, city employees. If you'll remember, from December 13th to the 17th, 2010, I conducted a series of voluntary one-on-one interviews of 52 different city employees who were part of an initiative that I called the Big Idea Listening Tour. During these interviews, employees told me what they like and dislike about their jobs, what they think ought to be changed, and their ideas about how the city could improve its overall operations. Based on what I heard during the Big Idea interviews and what I have observed during my 4 months as your city manager, I have prepared this list of 10 recommendations for changes to our workplace that I want to implement over the next 12 months. I will be talking more about this list of recommendations in the coming weeks and months. This is your heads up that change is coming. So in no particular order, here's what I want to do. Number 1, our Human Resources Director. Our organization is going to have a new Human Resources Director later this year. I'm going to be looking for a Human Resources Director who has a broad background in local government HR, a strong intellect and supportive demeanor, and an experience with developing and implementing contemporary local government HR best practices. My goal is to have our new HR Director on board by September 1st, 2011. Included among the early tasks that I want the new HR Director to take on is a modernization of our payroll and time reporting systems, a review of our employee classification and compensation systems, a review of our employee performance review system, and an analysis of the manner in which we employ and compensate our long-term, regular part-time employees. Number 2 is the Assistant City Manager. The Assistant City Manager position has been vacant since Heather Worthington's departure in October of 2010. In order for me to be fully engaged in my job, I need to have a person in the Assistant City Manager role with a set of complementary talents to my own. I will look for a person to serve in this role with experience in organizational development in a local government setting, individual and organizational performance management experience, and a broad experience in a leadership role in local government operations. The primary role of the Assistant City Manager will be to assist me in the overall management of city government. But it will also include specific duties such as management of our organizational development, development of performance management metrics, coordination of administrative services, and troubleshooting organizational problems and management of board and commission operations. My goal is to have our new Assistant City Manager on board by July 1 later this year. Number 3 is new staff positions. I've identified a need for 2 management level positions. The first is a facilities manager. The City of Edina is blessed with hundreds of thousands of square feet of publicly owned facilities. At the moment, there's no coordinated management of the care and maintenance of these facilities. I believe the creation of a facilities manager position will improve the current physical condition of our facilities and improve the planning process for future facility maintenance, and improve the overall value the city receives from its current level of facilities management spending. This proposal would include the creation of a facilities management group within our organization. I'm considering 2 options for that group. One would be as a standalone facilities management department. The other would be as an operating division within the Public Works Department. As this decision would impact the working lives of a number of current city employees, I will meet with those employees and hear their ideas before making a final decision on this proposal. The second position I would like to create is an economic development manager position. I believe this position would be helpful in several ways: to improve the city's connection to the local business community, in providing a business-oriented voice to the city's regulatory process, and in assisting the development and redevelopment of the city. I would propose the Economic Development Manager as a standalone department head position reporting to the Assistant City Manager. I will propose the creation of both these positions in the 2012 city budget. Number 4, branding. The City of Edina has one of the strongest community reputations not only in Minnesota but also in the Midwestern United States. We need to be careful to protect that image. Part of protecting that image is the way in which we use our image or our brand. I have noticed a surprising lack of uniformity in the way that we present ourselves and our organization to the public. During my big idea interviews, I counted 7 different ways the City of Edina brand or logo was used on the uniform of city employees who came to visit with me. Presenting a consistent image to the public is more important to the overall message that we are trying to convey than most people think. In May, I will establish an employee committee to take up this issue. Communications and Marketing Director Jennifer Bennerat will lead this committee. The committee will establish new expectations and policies about how the City of Edina logo and brand are used by the city. The committee's discussion will include such branding opportunities as our letterhead, our business cards, our uniforms, our vehicles, and our building signage. The new expectations and policies will become effective January 1, 2012. Number 5, the intranet. Creating and distributing information about our organization to all city employees is important, but our decentralized nature and round-the-clock work schedules makes this important task unusually challenging sometimes. Currently, we distribute paper copies of information, we send out everyone emails, or post information on our website. I will direct the creation of a new intranet for city employees that will enable a more regular flow of timely information to all employees who work for the City of Edina. The new intranet will operate as a common site for all employees to log into in order to get to other applications. It will be a link that we can use to connect all of us together regardless of where or when we work. I will ask staff from our IT and communications departments to work together to create, test, and implement this new tool no later than March 1st of 2012. Number 6, public data and information management. Our organization creates and handles a vast amount of information. We must improve the manner in which we safeguard and access this information in order to comply with state regulations and because the public demands reasonable access to our accumulated public data. We need to dedicate the staff time and budget necessary to accomplish this goal. I will create an employee committee under the leadership of City Clerk Deb Mangan to take on this challenge with a goal of having a plan ready to submit to me on or before September 1st later this year. I will also direct Ms. Mangan to prepare and implement a training program for all employees to improve the way in which we respond to requests from the public for public data. Number 7, labor management committees. I believe in the ability of labor management committees to improve the safety, effectiveness, and morale of everyone in the workplace. I believe the city's labor management committees could be more effective in achieving these important goals. I am personally committed to participating in the labor management committees currently serving employees in the Public Works, Parks and Recreation, and Police Departments in order to help the LMCs reach their full potential. I will do what is necessary to make service on our LMCs a productive and rewarding experience for all concerned. Number 8, organizational values. All organizations have values. They are shown most clearly by looking at what employee behaviors are encouraged and rewarded and which ones are discouraged and punished. What are the organizational values of our organization? After working here for almost 5 months, it's not entirely clear to me how to answer that question. That question, however, deserves a clear and concise answer that every employee should know and be capable of explaining. That's not where we are right now as an organization. It's important that we identify and project our organizational values. We need to be able to answer questions like, what should be guiding us when we have a difficult or snap decision that must be made? What do we want people outside of our organization to think of us? Or what philosophy will serve as the basis for how my work performance will be judged and rewarded? During the balance of 2011, we are going to take on this question and we're going to figure it out together, what we want our organizational values to be. This important task will be the top priority of our new Assistant City Manager. Number 9, employee innovation and purchasing. A number of employees shared a common comment with me during the Big Idea interviews, that the city could save money and create value by improving the manner in which we purchase such things as office supplies, uniforms, and other basic supplies. Because I heard this from a surprising number of employees, I want to more fully explore this idea. I will appoint an employee committee to study this matter, led by Assistant Finance Director Eric Rogman. I will expect to review their report on or before December 1st or later this year. Number 10, financial recommendations. Before I start my first budget with the City of Edina, I do have 4 recommendations that I want to see initiated prior to the start of our 2012 budget preparation process. I want to create a standalone employee severance fund that will serve as the source of funds for general employee severance needs. The fund will be funded at a level that is generally equal to an amount that is 50% of the current cash value of the city's paid leave liability. I want to eliminate the communications fund as a standalone fund by moving its expenses and traditional revenue sources into the general fund. I will recommend to the council that we adopt a new practice of setting 2-year budgets, starting with our 2012-2013 budget. And finally, I will direct the Finance Department to review the manner in which we reserve payments for services such as utility bills, building permits, recreation programs, etc., to make sure that we are using contemporary payment methods that make it easy and convenient for residents and customers to pay for city services. Obviously, I heard many more ideas in the Big Idea interview process than I could include in this program today. But be assured that I value all your input, even if you did not hear your idea in today's program. But this is where I want to start. The workplace changes described today are going to impact some employees immediately, but for most of you, the impact will be delayed. But make no mistake, the changes I am proposing will eventually impact every person who works for the City of Edina. I believe these changes will be the start of a new workplace culture that will improve our teamwork, create a stronger sense of pride in our organization, and create a higher level of confidence in our abilities from our elected officials and our residents. That's my goal, and I hope you'll all join me in working towards that future. Thank you.